everybody. Today's video is going to be all about 3D printing, specifically the Ender 3. We paid for all of this ourselves. It is unsponsored or anything. I just thought we'd show you what we're up to and our business idea. We'll see how this all goes. So let's get to the unboxing. Thank you. Okay, so all the boxes finally showed up. So we're going to open this up and you're going to see what we've got. In the long run, we're hoping to turn this into making a business. Other than that, let's just get right into it then. We're going to start with this first box. So, inside here, we got two smaller boxes. That's now empty. So, in here, we have some white filament. And then in this one, we have our green. We'll take a closer look after I get everything unboxed. There's two rolls of thing. So now we're going to go down in here. Now in this box, we picked up an upgraded hot end. I'll explain that in a little bit as to why I picked up this one. And then here we've got a extruder, all metal dual gear extruder, which is from everything I've read and watched, really highly recommended. Grips the filament better and it doesn't slip so much, so you get better prints. So for 20 bucks, why not? Okay, then we got another box of filament. This one we have black. So, we're running that. And we got another box of filament from a different company. That company, they didn't have any of the red, so this one, I can't really show you. It's vacuum sealed differently, but it's supposed to be red. So we'll see what that's like eventually. I'm not opening it right now, because you got to keep them dry. Moisture wrecks the filament before it's printed. So. Okay, we got one more box in here, and this is another upgrade kit for the printer. We'll get into this a little bit more in a second as to why I wanted that. And then the big one, the printer itself, quite heavy. At almost 8 kilograms. So let's see what we've got in this box. We'll start with the printer. So right off the bat, instructions. I've already looked at them. Not a whole lot of instructions. If you're going to get one, watch some YouTube videos on how to assemble. I might even do a little bit myself. More than likely it'll probably be time-lapsed. But that'll come in the next part of the video. So let's see what we got under here. Oh, packed in there really nicely. Lots of good foam. Okay, let's see. So we'll start off with right here. There's the control screen. And now we've got the extruder and the, I'll probably get this wrong, Y-axis, I believe. It might be the X-axis. I can't remember which one is which. But I'm only just learning all of this myself. Okay. So we've got a couple of rails that we'll have to assemble to the unit. Okay. Let's see how to get it out of here. Well, I can say this, it's definitely packed in here. There we go. And there's the power supply to run the unit. So it's a 24 volt, 360 watt. They said 270 on the website, but I'll take 360. I'd rather have more power than push one of these to the maximum. So There's the power supply. Okay. Now it looks like it's just the main unit. Let's see. Get it out of here. Okay. Okay. Main unit. Oop, gotta watch. Is not too bad. Okay. Watch my cables and everything. Okay, let's see how close I was accurate. Okay. Definitely gotta watch all your cables, make sure everything's not getting stuck somewhere it shouldn't. There we go, that one's for the screen. Okay, there we are. It's actually smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's got some good grips on the bottom. It's not moving very easily. Okay, I better check the box. Something's missing. Oh, look at that, a whole nother compartment underneath. Okay, there we go. Now this makes more sense. Here's what I was missing. The other rail. Yeah, the other two rails. There are 4 rails in total. You got 2 going up and then 2 going across. So I'll have to figure out which ones are which. They're all marked in the instructions. That's there. Okay. Then we got one of the little stripper motors for the Z-axis. Pointing that out because I'll be coming back to the Z-axis again. Power cable. Filament holder. Oh, I thought this piece was plastic, but it's actually metal. What the roll sits on is plastic. The best part is we want to change this. We can print our own. Make your own roller if you want. Okay, and then here we go. So we got some tools, some screws, nuts, some zip ties, all to help keep all the wires straight and neat. We'll take a look at that again in a little bit. And here's one of the X-axis brackets with the wheels. This will end up being different. Come back to that in a little bit too. Okay, and we got another package here. Okay, so yeah, we got some different guides, some different hose clamps, micro USB. Here's your home stops. Okay, and a little bit of filament in here. I'll be using that filament to fine tune the machine once I get it all assembled. And I'll have that in the video too. And then a little scraper. A scraper prints off the platform here. Okay, that's all of it this time. So, all this back in the box for now. So, as you can see, there's quite a bit of assembly to do. So, here's your nozzle and that for the actual printing. Okay. This is not too bad. I have lots here. Okay, so this is our main printer. Now, these 3 pieces here are upgrades. Now, I went with the standard Ender 3, mainly because it came on sale, and so I was able to afford these upgrades due to the fact the printer was on sale. Turns out I wouldn't have been able to use the mat on the Pro version, which I was looking at, due to the fact that this bed needs to be above 80 degrees when printing, and the magnetics bed does not like it. So I would have been a waste of money if I had gone that route. So, okay, so we're gonna move on. So we'll start here with the print head, the hot end, I should call it. That's what it's called. Right here where the filament comes out, this tubing is only rated for about 160 degrees. So in the original, this tube goes almost all the way down to the tip, so it gets too hot and then it wears out sooner. Plus, the way it fastens, you can sometimes get clogs and it gets messy. From what I'm told, you're going to have a problem with that. So I got this spider hot end kit. So I'll be removing that one out of there. I'll be putting it aside for a spare in case this one breaks. Comes with its own tools and that, and some extra screws. So here's the new hot end. So you got the tip here. So now this tube only goes down to about here. It's got a heat break in there. So that way, now this tube stays up here where it's going to be only maybe 50, 60 degrees Celsius instead of 250 down here. So as you can see, that would make it last a lot better, longer, less maintenance. I have to check in here, but I'm pretty sure the fins might be a little bit better than the current one that comes with it, the stock one. But from every video I've watched and people we know, all say upgrade your hot end. So there it is. I went with the Spider version 2. I didn't see a reason to go to version 3. At least I couldn't read anything to tell me that I need to. So version 2 will work. Version 2 also can go up to 300 degrees. I'm never going to get there because the filament we're going to be running, this filament, runs at about 250. So running the stock hot end at 250 all the time, it's going to wear out fast. So much better with this hot end. So I'll have to replace that and it'll increase the assembly time, but there we go. Okay, now another upgrade that I read about was this right here, the filament guide, the extruder. This one is plastic. As funny as it is, breaks quite often. It slips a lot from one video I watched just last night that did a test on it. The spring, it's strong, but it's not as good. So yeah, the filament will come in here, goes through these two rollers, which then this wheel here pushes it into the grooves on this one, which pushes it out here through to the hot end. But like I said, it's not that great. So for 20 bucks, I got this all metal dual gear extruder kit. So what this one does is now it'll have a gear on both sides, so that way it's gripping the filament from both sides when it pushes it through or pulls it back on retractions. It's got a bigger spring that should be a lot stronger, and like I said, it's all metal, so it should last longer. So that for 20 bucks, why not? So now the final upgrade kit that I got is the Z-axis upgrade. Now what this does is on the printer, even though I don't have it assembled right now, I pointed out the Z-axis motor. That goes on this side and it raises and lowers it up and down. Well, it can get out of shape and things a little bit. So in this kit, I now have two Z-axis, so I can have one on each side, so it would go up and down together with this rod and some other components, which I'll have to show you because you got to move the power supply back, so it comes with a bracket for that. New cable to go to two motors instead of just the one. Nuts and bolts. Bracket for the rod to go through. and then a few other adapters. Now, one thing I like is when you buy this without, originally, it sits like this and there's no bracket up here holding this. Well, once you have the rails on here, then there's no bracket holding it. So that's what these are for, is they'll slip in here and makes it more solid top and bottom, so it's all fastened. So there's two of these, one for each side. You'll see that too once I get to assembly. But for right now, I'm going to put all this back into the box. Mainly because this is getting a little messy around here. A lot of parts. Oh, I'll take that motor and put it back in here. And this rod back in here. Okay, so there you have it. There's the unboxing. I will do a short video on the assembly of this. More than likely, a good chunk of it's going to be time-lapse. And most people say it takes a good hour to 2 hours to do this. I've got 3 upgrades I'm going to do. I also decided to do them now in the main assembly because that way I don't have to disassemble hopefully later. I definitely did the Z-axis because that's adding something to the unit. I wasn't going to do the hot end, but after everybody stated how much better it was, I decided to do it. So other than that, the reason why I had to upgrade the hot end is the filament that I plan on using. That's another key point to why we're doing this. This is called PETG filament. It's very commonly used in everything from your Pepsi bottles or your Coke bottles or whatever, your pop bottles, juice jugs, and even right here, meat comes in PET plastic, which is very recyclable. So what I'm hoping is that either I can find a supplier that sells recycled filament, which would be awesome. That's what I would love to do. Or maybe, probably wouldn't be this year, but I've been looking into making my own filament extruder that we could actually make our own filament from recycled plastic right here. We'll see. Right now, I'm focusing on getting this up and running so that way we can start up a business and hopefully start making some money. So, but I guess that's about it for right now. We'll see you in the next one when we get this all assembled and see the test print and see how everything turns out. See ya.